And social justice advocate and executive director, Rebeth Hub Africa, Omotola Fawunmi, joins me in the news from Wilmington, Delaware via Skype to discuss irregular migration in Nigeria amid reports of 600 Nigerians who are now stranded in Saudi Arabia. Good to have you join us, Omotola Fawunmi.
Thank you for having me.
So this is not the first time we are getting reports of Nigerians stranded in any part of the country. Late last year, amidst the COVID-19, first wave of the COVID-19 pandemic, there were reports of Nigerians stranded in Kuwait, although they have now been evacuated. And there were reports of Nigerians stranded in Lebanon, also now being evacuated. Why do you think that this is a recurring trend to see Nigerians who are stranded in other parts of the country, other parts of the world?
Thank you very much for asking that very important question. I think, first of all, migration is regular, it's normal. People would have to move. The challenge with the people being stranded is that a lot of them were illegally migrated. So they were given the promise of economic prosperity, jobs, a better quality of life if they migrated to those countries. A lot of them were promised administrative or sales jobs, but ended up having to work as domestic slaves, sex slaves. And there is, to answer your question more pointedly, why do we have a large number? We have a large number because there is an informal strategic recruitment channel. So many keep getting recruited. We did a survey just 2 days ago with some of the girls we're trying to bring back in, both from Lebanon and Saudi Arabia. And we asked, how did you hear about this opportunity? Of the 100 that were surveyed on that particular survey, at least 80% of them said the opportunity came from a close family member, a friend, a community, a trusted member of the community. So the recruitment is actively done through people that people trust. And what happens when somebody you trust engages you, chances are that you don't ask or probe further the same way you would ask a similar question from someone else. So if someone said, for example, I have a job for you in Switzerland, and this person was a recruitment agency, chances are I would ask what, where, when, how much. But if it's a friend of mine, chances are I would make an assumption that this friend should have done due diligence. And many times, these girls, women don't do this due diligence. So a lot of them have gone because of the economic crisis, particularly in Lebanon. A lot of the women who went there to work under the promise of earning $2,000 ended up earning $200. And then in the heat of the crisis, were thrown out because then they could no longer get paid. So we had a lot of them sleeping on the streets. We had a number of them out in front of embassies. We also had a lot of them, even we had for Nigerians, for example, we had some of them housed in Hezbollah-controlled areas in Lebanon.
All right, so if I may just quickly jump in, Omotola, because you just talked about how these people are approached by people they know, but there is also a cartel, both in who are working together, both in the destination country, both in the home country and in the destination country. Why has it been so difficult to apprehend these people?
You see, to apprehend them, I would speak of a personal case that happened to us as an organization about this time last year. Many of the girls who are recruited, when they go for 3 years, find out it's a bad situation, they're able to serve out their 3-year term. The girls eventually also become recruiters themselves. That's level 1. Level 2 is that the cartel recruiting is highly organized. And I mean, you're talking about $150 million industry. So they're not going to just allow you to walk through. Sometime last year, for example, about January last year, we had a list of girls. We had a list and saw that a particular agency was recruiting as a recruiter. So we put in some motions in place, got an undercover agent to help us investigate this in the Ikorodu area of Lagos. This person had a commanding officer, and they were going undercover, had gone, I think, 3 times to make inquiries about how she was going to join these girls. On a Sunday, I think either first or second Sunday in January last year, her line was bugged and they discovered she was an undercover agent. She was killed with a machete by these recruiters. We had to go bury her body in Edo State. And at that point, on a personal note, at an organization, I had to say, well, we're not going after agents at this time. We can't lose people because we're trying to save people. So until we figure out a smart way to apprehend the agents, they're highly organized, they're informal, they're online, they pose as travel agents, they pose as recruitment agencies. They list the girls online. So it's very organized and very informal. I think that the government needs to be proactive with understanding the problem, because you cannot solve a problem you do not understand. They need to be proactive with understanding the problem. How are they recruited? If they are recruited in communities,
all right,
it also means.
Omotola, I do apologize. I have to butt in because of our time. Social justice advocate and executive director, Rebirth Hub Africa, Omotola Fawunmi, you joined me from Wilmington, Delaware. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.